Hey there, explorers. Have you ever looked around and said, wow, God made this world amazing? Just think about it for a moment. Everywhere you look, there's something incredible to see. From the tiniest insects crawling on the ground to the tallest trees reaching up to the sky, everything is a part of this wonderful creation. When you walk through a forest, you can hear the birds singing, the leaves rustling, and the wind whispering through the branches. It's like nature is having a conversation with us, inviting us to explore and discover its secrets. The trees, the animals, even the stars in the sky, it's all so cool. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a sense of wonder? Those twinkling stars are like tiny beacons of light, each one a part of a vast universe that stretches beyond our imagination. And the animals, oh, the animals! From the playful dolphins in the ocean to the majestic eagles soaring high above, each creature has its own unique beauty and purpose. It's like a grand tapestry woven together by God's hand, each thread adding to the richness of the whole. God is super powerful, way more than we can imagine. Just look at the powerful waterfalls that thunder down with such force, or the majestic mountains that stand tall and proud, reaching for the heavens. The vast ocean waves crashing against the shore remind us of the immense power and beauty of God's creation. It's a reminder that there is a force greater than us, a force that created and sustains everything we see. And yet, this powerful Creator cares for each one of us individually. He made everything around us and He takes care of it all. Think about the farmer who tends to his crops, ensuring they grow healthy and strong, or the gardener who waters the plants, nurturing them with love and care. Even the family enjoying a picnic in the park is a part of this beautiful creation. God provides for all of us, making sure we have what we need to thrive. It's a beautiful cycle of life where everything is interconnected and dependent on each other. But guess what? God also gave us something special, our brains. Our brains are like supercomputers, capable of thinking, learning, and solving problems. When we use our brains, we can understand more about the world around us. We can ask questions, seek answers, and discover new things. It's like having a special tool that helps us unlock the mysteries of God's creation. And the best part is, we can use our brains to help others and make the world a better place. We can use our brains to learn about God's creation. Whether it's conducting a science experiment, exploring nature with a magnifying glass, or studying a globe to learn about different countries, there are so many ways to discover the wonders of the world. Each new piece of knowledge is like a puzzle piece that fits into the bigger picture, helping us understand the beauty and complexity of God's creation. And the more we learn, the more we appreciate the incredible world we live in. That's what science is all about. Science is like a treasure hunt where each discovery is a new gem that adds to our understanding of the world. It's about asking questions, being curious, and never stopping in our quest for knowledge. When we study science, we are exploring the very fabric of God's creation, uncovering the secrets that make our world so amazing. So let's keep exploring, keep learning, and keep marveling at the incredible world that God has made for us. Science helps us understand how things work. It's like a giant puzzle, and God gave us the pieces. When we do science experiments, we're like detectives. We ask questions, we try things out, and we learn something new every time. Faith is believing in God, even when we can't see Him. Science helps us see God's power in action. Are you ready for some fun science experiments that show God's awesomeness? Let's go. Today, we're going to do experiments with balloons. Balloons are fun to play with, but they can also teach us about God's world. We're going to make balloons pop in different ways. It'll be exciting, I promise. Remember to always ask a grown-up for help before you do any experiment. Safety first. Get your balloons ready. It's time to explore God's power with science. For this experiment, you will need one balloon, a sharp pin, and a grown-up helper. Step 1, blow up your balloon. Make it nice and big. Step 2, carefully hold the balloon so it doesn't touch anything sharp. Step 3, ask your grown-up to gently touch the balloon with the very tip of the pin. What happens? Pop! The balloon explodes! That was cool, right? But why did that happen? Let's find out. Section 5. Why did that happen? The science of sharp stuff. The balloon is made of a stretchy material. It's like a thin sheet of rubber. When we poke the balloon with something sharp, like a pin, we create a tiny hole. That tiny hole makes the rubber weak in that spot. The air inside the balloon pushes out really fast and pop, the balloon explodes. That's the science behind it. Section 6, God's power. Even in tiny things, isn't it amazing how something so small like a pinprick can make such a big difference? God's power is like that too. He can do amazing things even with things we think are small. Just like God takes care of every little detail in nature, He takes care of us too. He loves us very much now. Are you ready for another balloon experiment? This time we're going to use heat. Section 7. Experiment 2, the mysterious heat. Welcome to another exciting and educational journey into the world of science. Today, we are going to explore the fascinating concept of heat and its effects on everyday objects. This experiment is not only fun, but also a great way to understand the principles of thermal energy and how it interacts with different materials. For this experiment, you will need one balloon, a grown-up helper, and a lit candle. These simple items will help us demonstrate a powerful scientific principle. The balloon represents an object that can be affected by heat, while the candle provides the source of heat. Make sure you have all the materials ready before you begin. Be very careful with fire. Safety is our top priority. Always have an adult present when working with open flames. Fire can be dangerous if not handled properly, so follow all safety instructions and never leave the candle unattended. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher or a bucket of water nearby just in case. Step 1. Blow up your balloon and tie it off. This step is simple but crucial. The air inside the balloon will play a key role in our experiment. As you blow up the balloon, think about how the air inside is trapped and how it might react to heat. Once the balloon is fully inflated, tie it securely to prevent any air from escaping. Step 2. Ask your grown-up to light the candle and hold the balloon a safe distance away from the flame. This step requires caution. The candle flame is our heat source, and we need to be very careful not to bring the balloon too close too quickly. The goal is to observe how the balloon reacts as it gets closer to the heat. Step 3. Slowly move the balloon closer to the candle flame. Pay close attention to any changes you notice. Does the balloon feel warmer? Is there any change in its shape or texture? The heat from the candle will start to affect the air inside the balloon, causing it to expand. This is a great moment to discuss with your helper what you think will happen next. What do you think will happen? This is the perfect time to make a hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess based on what you already know. Will the balloon pop? Will it change color? Will it shrink or expand? Discuss your ideas with your helper and see if you can predict the outcome of the experiment. Pop! The balloon explodes again. The sudden burst is a dramatic demonstration of how heat can cause rapid expansion. When the balloon gets too close to the flame, the heat weakens the rubber, causing it to burst. This is a clear example of how thermal energy can change the state of materials. But this time it's because of heat. The heat from the candle caused the air inside the balloon to expand until the balloon could no longer hold it. This experiment shows how heat energy can cause physical changes in objects. It's a simple yet powerful way to understand the effects of thermal energy. Remember, science is all about curiosity and discovery, so keep exploring and learning. Section 8. Science time. Heat makes things weak. Heat is a form of energy. When we heat something up, we give it more energy. The heat from the candle flame made the rubber in the balloon weaker. The air inside the balloon was already pushing outward. When the rubber got too weak, it couldn't hold the air anymore, and pop! Science helps us understand how things work, from tiny atoms to the entire universe. Section 9. Exploring God's world. Keep asking questions. We've learned about God's power, done some awesome experiments, and had a lot of fun with balloons. Balloons are not just for parties. They can teach us about air pressure, static electricity, and even the principles of flight. When we play with balloons, we are actually engaging in scientific exploration without even realizing it. Isn't that amazing? Remember, science is all about asking questions and exploring the world around us. When you see something interesting, don't just walk by. Stop and ask yourself, why is this happening? Or how does this work? These questions are the starting points of scientific discovery. Whether you're looking at a tiny insect through a magnifying glass or reading a fascinating science book, every question you ask brings you one step closer to understanding the incredible world God has created for us. God gave us curious minds, so let's use them. Curiosity is a gift that drives us to learn and grow. When you feel curious about something, don't ignore it. Dive deeper, explore, and find out more. Curiosity leads to knowledge, and knowledge helps us appreciate the wonders of God's creation even more. So, the next time you find yourself wondering about something, take it as an opportunity to learn and discover. Try these experiments at home with a grown-up and see what other amazing things you can discover about God's creation. Science experiments are not just for the classroom, they can be a fun and educational activity for the whole family. Whether you're making a volcano erupt with baking soda and vinegar, or creating a rainbow with a glass of water and a flashlight, each experiment is a chance to see God's handiwork in action. Plus, doing these activities with a grown-up ensures that you stay safe while having fun. Keep on learning, keep on exploring, and most importantly, keep on believing in the awesomeness of God. Learning doesn't stop when you leave school. It's a lifelong journey. Every book you read, every question you ask, and every experiment you try brings you closer to understanding the world and the God who created it. So stay curious, stay excited, and never stop believing in the incredible power and love of God. The more you learn, the more you'll see just how awesome He truly is.